Okay, boys and girls, now that we've identified this writing sample, my first day swimming, as a sample that's low in sentence fluency, let's look and see how we can revise it to improve it. When we talk about sentence fluency, we mean the flow of the sentences. So we want to look at the length of the sentences. We don't want all short or all long ones. We want kind of a combination. If you notice, this writing really starts out with a lot of short sentences. I went to the pool. It was full of kids. They were swimming. I didn't know how to swim. So it sounds very choppy because all of the sentences are about the same length. There's not a combination of short and long. Also, it's choppy and sounds kind of boring because each sentence seems to start the same way with pronouns I, it, they. So we want to look at ways to change the beginnings of the sentences and to improve the flow through the lengths of the sentences. So let's look at the first one. I went to the pool. It's kind of a short, choppy sentence, and we want to add some detail to it so it flows. So one way to improve it is to add some words at the beginning. So let's say we'll start it with one hot summer day. And we've talked about verbs. Went is an okay verb, but it's kind of boring. So let's jazz it up by saying, I took a trip to the neighborhood pool for my first swimming lesson. Now, in the story, we realize that the narrator, the main character, they're not just going to the pool to have fun, they're there for swimming lessons, so we can add that in. I took a trip to the neighborhood pool for my first swimming lesson. So now this sentence is a little bit lengthier, but it flows better, and it doesn't start with that pronoun I. Now look at the next two sentences. It was full of kids. They were swimming. Well, really, we don't need two separate sentences for this thought here. We can combine them into a sentence that flows a little better, and also we could change the wordage here. Instead of it was full of kids, it was packed with kids who were already swimming. And so now we can kind of lead into the next thought. Look at what the author has written, what the narrator is thinking about. I didn't know how to swim. Well, it's kind of, there was nothing to really follow the idea before or after. It was just kind of thrown in there. So another way to make the writing flow is to make it sound like the character is talking. So, and then add in the thoughts of the main character. So we might say something like, as I stood there watching, I became more and more worried about the fact that I couldn't swim. So now it's flowing. These are the thoughts of the character and what they're doing and what they're thinking. Then following it up with more thoughts, even though I was scared, I decided I needed to at least try. So now the ideas are connected, the sentences are connected, and it flows. One hot summer day, I took a trip to the neighborhood pool for my first swimming lesson. It was packed with kids who were already swimming. As I stood there watching, I became more and more worried about the fact that I couldn't swim. Even though I was scared, I decided I needed to at least try. So now the sentences flow, and they don't begin all with I. So now you take it and see if you can continue to improve this story by improving the sentence fluency. Look at the next couple of sentences. Those could be combined. Some words could be added and changed. Instead of I changed my clothes, I took a quick shower, I got really cold. See if you can combine those sentences and add in some better verbs and descriptive words to improve your sentence fluency. Good luck!